We are gathered here today to remember the life of Clara Osgood Osbad Oswin Oswald, who was sadly taken from us in last week's episode of BBC One's Doctor Who, Face the Raven, by the titular bird, a raven. Clara was a beloved, dedicated teacher. Actually, that's a lie. She missed half her lessons and ran out to have wacky hijinks like every other week. It was her personality that made us all so endeared to her. She was sassy, she was kind. She stood up to TV's Doctor Who whenever she thought she was right. In the words of the great Stephen Moffat, Clara was just an ordinary girl. And in the end, she sacrificed her life so that we may live. What? Get out of here, Raven from CBBC's Raven. You're not even a real bird. Put me right off my train of thought, that has. Hello, you're listening to the voice of Joel H. Joelson, because I can't find a good enough camera. Let me take you by the hand and lead you through the streets of London, where we're sure to Series 9, Episode 10, Face the Raven. Or something. Following another one of his wacky adventures we never get to see because of reasons of budget and quality, TV's Doctor Who and his plucky chum Clara get a surprise call from Richard Igsworth from them's a Flatton. Turns out he's done a murder in Diagon Alley but for aliens run by Jane of Thrones from Game of Thrones. Or has he? As you can probably tell from that totally factual synopsis, this episode falls into this series' theme of recurring characters. By this point we've had Wheels O'Rourke and Amphiany and a whole heap of Daleks, the Alien Detective Squad led by Briggs Jr. and the Infinidorks in Attack of the Meatmen, and news that Rivers Ong is coming back for a proper bonkers comedy knockabout this Christmas in Doctor Who and Rivers Ong meet Bubby Jesus. I half expect to open the curtains and see the spooky Victorian Detective Squad staring at me through the window. Always staring. With their soulless eyes. So yeah, Ravenface. Briggsy's done him a murder. All the aliens are understandably peeved, and Jane of Thrones is mayor of Diagon Alley for some reason. And she's given Riggsy a killer tattoo using new tattoo powers she got from an evil raven. I know it may not sound like it, but I honestly really liked this episode. The secret alien underworld was amazingly realised, all the actors gave great performances, and best of all, in a series that has admittedly been a bit all over the place with TV's Doctor Who's characterisation, we finally get what's possibly Peter Capaldi's best performance as TV's Doctor Who. He's got the anger, he's got the dread, he feels ancient. It's a far improvement over the midlife crisis figure we got at the start of the series. On the other hand, the story isn't perfect. It's never really explained why the aliens have to be disguised as humans if they never leave Diagon Alley. A massive chunk of the exposition about the scary Death Raven is offloaded onto one character in one scene, and the entire episode turns into a stealth two-parter with next week, forcing it into the same setup knockdown structure we've had all series. Riggsy's plotline isn't really finished either, having been hijacked by mysterious forces who want TV's Doctor Who's brain frisbee. Putting all that aside, this is definitely one of the standout episodes this series. Sarah Dollard's definitely one of the best new writers we've had in recent years, and I hope she gets to come back and write some more words for TV's Doctor Who. I'll rate this episode 8 ravens out for a mysterious tattoo. Right, now that's out of the way, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Clara's death. I thought it was handled really well. Clara's overconfidence and savviness being her undoing was the perfect choice. And the fact that we finally got an unavoidable fate that wasn't eventually avoided through Deus Ex Machina is great. Let's just hope it stays like that. As Clara is now finally dead forever, I thought I'd talk about why she was so controversial for some people. Before I start, I'd like to make it clear that absolutely none of my problem with Clara is due to Jenna Coleman. She's a great actress and her performance is what elevates Clara beyond the often limited scripts. Now no one can accuse me of being mean, so there. I think it comes down to the fact she was never really properly introduced as a character, and so any development she had always felt inconclusive. In Series 7, she's a sassy nanny who never got to fulfill her dream of travelling the world. By the 50th anniversary, she's a sassy, cool school teacher and we never learn how. In Series 8, she's become weirdly jealous and angry when things don't go her way, and by Series 9, she's practically got a death wish. The slightly bizarre way the character develops comes from the fact that she was established as a plot device first and a character second. By putting the Impossible Girl storyline before the girl herself, the audience never gets a chance to relate to Clara, and so are unable to empathise with her. The emphasis on her being the most important thing since sliced bread doesn't help either, as being the person responsible for creating TV's Doctor Who, saving him a trillion times and ending the Time War renders her as an unbelievable super being more suited to bad fanfiction. But now, alas, Clara is gone. And following a small appearance in the series finale, Thank You Doctor Who magazine, will never appear again. May flights of leaves and spooky ravens carry you to the great companion retirement home in the sky. Special thanks to Dan for editing this review. Without him, you'd probably be looking at a blank screen. Hate my opinion? Scream yours at us via the Your Verdict page on the FiveWhoFan website. Next week on FiveWhoFans, Billy will be tackling the series' first every other character in the show light episode, Heaven Sent.
Hey guys, it's me, Jurassic, and I'm here to interview...
Hello, it's me, Edward Russell.